From one of the most respected names in the business, this machine brings together the whisper-quiet operation of a rotary pump, plumbability direct to water line or reservoir operation, usability features like simultaneous brew and steam via a large heat exchange boiler, lever-operated valves, and high-mounted gauges and controls for better visibility with updated styling and color options, and it's all built on a stainless steel frame. Hey, espresso lovers, Mark here for a Latte Love with the Bezzera Sole, a new design for 2024. Now, similar to their Aria machine, it's a plumbable rotary pump PID machine using a heat exchange boiler. Now, compared to the Aria, it has more capacity with a 25% larger boiler and water reservoir, plus that new styling, especially these, I'm going to call them moon lander style feet for a retro futuristic look. It's a straightforward, easy to operate machine if you don't need the latest extended features like programmable pre-infusion modes, time of day programming. If you just want a well-built product at a good price that reliably and quietly performs at the level of a commercial cafe machine, the Sole here, it fits the bill. And if you do want to go to the next level with pre-infusion and other advanced brewing techniques, the Sole is available with flow control to give you those capabilities. Coming up in this video, I'll take you top to bottom, talk about the type of grinder to pair with the machine, pull some espresso and froth some milk for a latte, and show you a little trick to do that relatively hands-free. Take the cover off to explore the build and internal components. I'll go over accessories, review test results for brew temperature accuracy and steaming performance, and share my thoughts on the type of user the Sole is most suitable for. With a 2-liter heat exchange boiler under PID temperature control, the Bezzera Sole can brew and steam milk simultaneously. It's available in 4 colors: the standard mirror finish stainless steel, matte white, matte black, and my personal favorite, the matte green I have here. Now, the stock handles and levers are black, but real wood upgrade options are available, like the nice olive wood from Vitamin I have on this machine and the grinder over here. The cup warming surface gets passive heat from the boiler. The Sole runs from a 4-liter internal reservoir or can be plumbed direct to water line using the included braided stainless steel supply line. Plumbing machine for a never-ending water supply? Yeah, it's near a life-changing experience. You'll never fill a reservoir again, and that's super cool. And with the right inline setup, like the BWT Best Max Premium, filtering water to prevent scale and improve flavor is simple. Lever-operated valves feed the steam and hot water wands, which are insulated for no-burn properties. And in addition to maybe saving your skin, it's going to help prevent milk bake-on as well. Valves can be locked on or throttled for momentary operation. Using the PID control, you set your desired brew temperature. Now, some HX machines have you set the actual boiler temperature, which always runs hotter than the brew temp. With those, you're going to have to cross-reference a chart to look up what boiler temperature to set for your desired brew temperature. You don't have to do that on the Sole. When pulling a shot, the PID becomes a shot timer. I like that it's mounted near the top of the machine. It's more visible compared to machines, which are going to put that closer down to the drip tray. And those gauges for boiler and brew pressure, they're mounted up high as well, again increasing visibility. A commercial style wire rack covers the drip tray. I like those as they don't show the scratches or pool liquid on the surface like flat profile tray covers. The drip tray has a fitting to connect to a supply drain line. You can keep that capped if desired. If you use a drain line, the fitting does swivel for easy installation. On the rear, a retro interpretation of the classic Visconti snake chomping a dude logo in a 3-dimensional texture design. If you're in or visit Milan, you'll see that logo on the walls of the castle there, like I did when I visited Bezzera's production facility in Milan a few years back. Underneath the rear of the machine is the connection for the plumb line, a mechanical valve for selecting plumbed or reservoir operation, and access to the rotary pump's bypass adjustment for setting brew pressure. Now, not something you need to adjust, but hey, if you do want to, it is there. A drain for the boiler is accessible under the machine, although becoming more common. You don't get a drain like this on many machines. Now, it's not difficult to drain an HX boiler when it's heated, and you do that through the hot water tap, but with this setup, it's going to allow you to empty the boiler for storage or transport when the machine is cold. With that heat exchange boiler, the Sole can, of course, brew and steam simultaneously. So let me show you how that works, including how to froth milk relatively hands-free. I'm gonna pull a double shot for a large latte. My grinder is a Eureka Silenzio 55, and that's a good pairing. You know, for this level of machine, I do recommend a flat burr grinder with 50mm burrs or larger. Lots of options in that class from manufacturers like Chiato, Eureka, Malkonig, and more. The stock double filter basket has a capacity of about 20 grams, so I'm going to use 18 grams of our Crema Wave coffee. I dialed in grind size to produce a 1:2 ratio in about 25 seconds. I'm going to use a scale, so I'll be looking to stop the extraction at about 36 grams in the cup. Now, to go hands-free with the milk, I fill this 12-ounce pitcher with just enough milk so the tip of the steam wand is ever so slightly below the surface and at an angle that'll produce a roll to mix the milk as it expands or stretches in volume. You can use this technique on many machines. It takes a little practice to get the positioning right, and you may need to adjust the tip position a bit as the milk expands, but once you have it figured out, it's easy to get a nice froth, even something capable of pouring latte art. So I raise the lever to start my shot and then lock on the steam to start frothing. As the milk expands, again, I may need to adjust the tip position a little higher if I want an airier froth and change the angle to get it rolling in the pitcher. Keeping an eye on the shot timer and scale, I'm feeling the pitcher with my hand. I'm going to cut the steam just before it's uncomfortably hot. At that point, it's about 140 to 150 degrees, milk's sweet point for best flavor. So I cut the steam and, watching the scale, pull down the lever to stop the shot at about 35 grams, and I ended up finishing a couple grams over my 36-gram target. From there, get my pitcher out and wipe down the wand, open the valve to purge out any milk, and wipe it down again. I pour the frothed milk over the espresso, and my latte is complete. Now, I'm really no latte artist, but as you can see, the hands-free technique can get you a froth quality that is capable of latte art. Like most E61 group machines without specialized fast heating functions, you should allow at least 20 minutes or so for full heat up before you use, and be sure to keep your portafilter in the group while the machine's heating up and not in use so it warms as well. Since the Soleil's main power switch is mechanical, appliance power timers, including Wi-Fi models you can control from anywhere, are the way to go to have the machine ready on your schedule. Machines with heat exchange boilers generally have a sweet spot of temperature accuracy shortly after fully warming up. If they sit on and idle for long periods, temperatures generally creep up a few degrees, and you'll want to do a short flush to cool it down a bit. Our brew temperature tests are based on the SCA method. I warm the machine up with our PID set to 200 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes with our TPD test device attached. I did a super short flush to clean the group, then reattach the TPD and raise the lever. Now, I disregard the first 10 seconds as brew pressure comes up to 9 bar and temps equalize in the test device. At 10 seconds in, we're at 198.1 and rising to 199.9 at 16 seconds, with that temp holding until 23 seconds and falling slightly to finish at 199.4 at 25 seconds. Here's a graph of those relatively impressive results. The average temperature from 10 seconds to the finish was 199.4. Now, keep in mind the machine was at its sweet point about 25 minutes from a cold start. If this or any heat exchange boiler machine were to sit on and idle for extended periods, temps would edge up a few degrees, so you'd want to do a cooling flush. To test milk frothing performance in water added during steaming, I set the brew temp on the PID to 203 degrees Fahrenheit. That's equal to about 95 Celsius. That temperature produces about 1.4 bar of pressure in the boiler. Starting with 148 grams of whole milk, that's about 5 ounces, from the fridge at 49 degrees in the pitcher, I performed our standard test, timing how long it takes to heat that to above 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. The 2-hole steam tip produces a vigorous roll in the pitcher. Total time to reach higher than 140 was 18 seconds. The milk weighed 162.1 grams after steaming for a gain of 14.1 grams or 9.5%. It's not unusual for machines to add 15% water weight during steaming, so that under 10 is a great result. Following steaming, the boiler recovered to the 203 on the PID and 1.4 bar starting pressure in 18 seconds. No problem making back-to-back drinks on the Sole. The machine easily recovers by the time you've prepped for your next drink. So I got Todd with me. Todd, it's been a while since we've been together, but we're going to take a look inside the Sole here, find out what's going on.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's good to be back. Really well thought out machine.
Uh-huh.
If you want to get inside, it's super easy to get inside.
Yeah, let me show that just real quick. 1 screw on each side panel, 4 along the top, and all the panels come right off. Super easy.
Yeah, which I always like because I am a tech. Not that you're going to have to do much inside here. Okay, over here, here's a water line hookup. If you hook the water line up, it goes to here. Then you just flip this to open the valve.
And it's labeled. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice of them. And
that would be up here.
Yep, that's the water line from the reservoir. It goes down to here to that valve. It goes either way. So the water comes through here, through the Fluidotech pump, comes out over to a T. This is all pre-standard stuff. But from here, it goes to a solenoid valve. Now this will fill the steam or fill the boiler with water when the level sensor tells it to. Open valve, pump goes on, fills. When you raise the lever up to brew, water goes through here, up there, to the heat exchanger, which is right here, which is really interesting, but then goes up here to the brew group, and that's for your brewing water, the thermal siphon on this, and it recirculates the water. The hot water goes in here. When it cools, it goes back down, so you have a constant circulation. Now, this is a very unique heat exchanger. It's horizontal. Most heat exchangers you'll see in a horizontal boiler are vertical. So, and Mark's done a bunch of testing. And
yeah, well, you saw that earlier in the video. Really, when you're in your sweet spot, great temperatures. Just want to show really nice, classic sort of copper boiler made right at the factory in Bezzera. And Bezzera, just so you know, makes probably more components in-house than anybody else in the business.
Yeah, they're a real manufacturer.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, of course, you have, here's your line coming up for your hot water dispenser on this one. Here's coming up for your steam on the other side, your 2 gauges. So you have these 2 capillary tubes come down. Comes down over to here for your brew pressure, and up there for your steam pressure.
And then up top on the boiler here,
yep.
Safety. What's up next?
Yep, safety. In case your pressure builds up too high, this is your fill probe. Tells the boiler how full to be. Vacuum leaf valve. This is a nice one because they put a tube on it, so any steam that comes out of here during startup will go into the drip tray, and then your temperature probe.
Right.
Yep.
And then we real quick, we'll see that we're kind of built on a stainless steel kind of rail here, right?
Yep. And a nice addition to that is they put on this this base here. It makes it even stronger.
We call that the Moonlander feet for that retro futuristic look.
And while we're underneath here, there's a few screws, and this whole panel comes out. And underneath this panel are the controls, some of the controls. There's your boiler drain if you want to drain the boiler. When it's cold, take the cap off, open that up, and you can drain your boiler out.
Now, more manufacturers are adding those. A lot of times they're behind a panel, though, or something.
Yeah.
But it does make it nice and easy to drain the boiler when it's cold.
Yeah, very handy.
I just want to mention real quick, so we have the lever valves up here, which will stack on, but you can also adjust which way. So if you want to pop it up to have it lock on, you can do that.
So it locks there. It doesn't lock.
Yeah.
You go like this, you can make it so it locks up top if you want to.
Yeah, that's a little trick some people don't know about.
It's kind of cool.
How those set up. Also, just real quick, one other thing I want to mention is, again, back to the Moonlander feet here. These are adjustable. So if you got like weird angle countertop and you need one side, if your espresso's dripping to one side or the other a little bit too much. So that is the inside of this machine. Todd, thanks so much. Great to have you here with me. It's been a while, but I always appreciate you coming by. In the box with the Sole here are double and single spout portafilters, 10 and 20 gram filter baskets, a backflush disc, that Bezzera logo tamper, and a drawstring bag, water level sensor cover. You want to hang on to that if you're plumbing the machine, group cleaning brush, coffee scoop, braided stainless steel line for that plumbed-in connection, drain hose, and a user manual. Notable extras here include that real tamper. You know, it wasn't very long ago, every machine came with a cheap plastic tamper that would need immediate replacement. And you also get that 20-gram filter basket that's a little larger than what you get with most machines. Must-have accessories include water filtration. For a plumbed-in machine, BWT Water & More has inline systems that filter particles, chemicals like chlorination, and use calcium to magnesium ion exchange to stop limescale formation while providing the mineral level needed for good flavor and boiler protection. If you'll be using the reservoir, you can get the same ion exchange for limescale protection and chemical filtration using Best Save in-tank filters or the Aqualizer pitcher from BWT. You're also going to want to pick up some Cafiza cleaner. It's the product many shops use for backflushing machines and cleaning filter baskets, portafilters, and more. In average home use, a container this size is going to last you well over a year. Optional accessories for the machine include wood trim options for handles and levers, bottomless portafilters, and if you want to stay on brand, you can dress up your espresso bar with useful items like Bezzera cups, their tamp station, and knock drawer. So what type of user is the Sole for? Well, if you want the convenience of a plumbed machine with a rotary pump, it can save you compared to dual boiler machines that run about $500 more. Compared to Bezzera's Aria, Sole pricing is similar and has a larger boiler and perhaps a bit more going on style-wise with the unique look of the retro futuristic feet and those new colors. The Aria does come stock with flow control, and that's going to be an upgrade on the Sole. I do appreciate the higher, more visible mounting of pressure gauges and the display on the Sole. The Sole is a straightforward and easy to operate machine. It's built well and gets the job done. There are similar machines like the ECM Mechanica Max with more advanced features, but if you simply want to make good espresso without diving into programming all kinds of parameters, the Sole keeps things simple and pure. Now, if you have any questions about the Bezzera Sole or anything coffee, use those comments and I'd be happy to get you a detailed answer. And if you love coffee and espresso as much as I do, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm Mark, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back soon for more of the best in everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.